Huh. Says it's showtime and I wasn't even paying attention, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know if everything's working all right, the audio and all that good stuff. Got New Ferris Railroad and NS5107, aka Chasco, which is Chuck. Okay, just making sure. Thanks for the update on that, Chasco. Schuylkill built River Valley. That's who I'm thinking of. New Ferris Railroad is William, but some of us call him Bill. Um, had to think. Some of us call him William. I know on other live streams. So it looks like Chuck John number 2. Remember that? John number 2. There is quite a lot of Johns. I've seen somebody say John number 7 the other night, and I'm like, who's John number 7? I'm not even sure who John 1 is. Now we've got number 7. I'm like, okay. I'm losing track of who's what here. Oh, we'll wait a few minutes. I did do a reminder video, and I did do the regular setup screen that usually comes on YouTube, but it's still a little early yet, I guess, for some people. John 1 is JD. Okay, Grandpa Rails. I have no idea who John number 7 was. I'm not even sure what live. I think it might have been Ray's on Sunday, because I think that's the last one I watched. Was it Ray's or who was it on Sunday? Might have not been Ray. And that might have been. I know it was when Ray was on. So and I've got paint all over my hands. Playing around with this diorama, trying to get different paint. Figure out what might look good for just a riverbed. It's not going to be nothing. Oh, okay. Mystic Southern Railroad. He numbered his number 7. Okay. He numbered himself. So we're not even sure if we have John. We having 6 or 5 or 4 or 3, really, I guess. I mean, we've got several Brians, and there's only one Sparky, and there's only one Vinny. Not to be confused with Boxcar Benny. You can get those two kind of mixed up if you can't pronounce something correctly. I have. I've got those two mixed up for some reason. Vinny, Benny sounds the same. So 3 Roys now. Yeah. Yeah. Roy Harbick, Roy Smith, and Roy. I can't think of his name, but I know who you're talking about. I can't think of the last name. I'm not even sure if I can pronounce it. Earl Late, something like that, possibly. Could only be one Ray. Yes. Hopefully there's only one Ray Boble. Welcome, Ray, to the live chat, buddy. Glad you can make it in tonight. I know you're usually busy. John's usually busy. John number 2, that is. Split Rock, welcome. Humanity Junction. Oh, hi, Rodney. Listening as I do some work in the. That's totally fine, Heath. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Fine, we got a free night, sorta. Oh, well. Ray, I would like to see if you could get a free night so we could just chit chat a little bit about what you're doing on your layout. I'm not saying that I'm going to have a lot of ideas for you, but maybe I can pitch in and kind of help with your over the top area. I don't know how to even say it, buddy. I might have a little bit of suggestions for you. Maybe you'll like them, maybe you won't. I don't know. So we'll have to get together and see what. Yes, the second deck where you're going to put your trolley and your Union Central Station, I believe. I believe that's what you called it the other night. Grand Central Station, something like that. All I know, you was going to have a station and a couple other things. There's Golfa Haynes from over the pond, way over the pond. Welcome, Golfa. Haven't seen you for quite a while. Yeah, the city level. It's best way. Okay. See who else we. Thomas. That's who I'm trying to think of for one of you. Somebody mentioned that. Humanity mentioned that. So we got Golfa, Rodney, Ray, John, Bill, and Thomas. Thomas is either Split Rock or Anfield Road layout in the loft. I can't keep up with anything nowadays, guys, so forgive me. Manny's. Oh, trying to call you mayonnaise now. Manny let's just go with Manny. Welcome. Oh, it's been one of those days, I believe. I'm having sort of one of those Ray Boble trying to talk moments, even though I'm not anything like Ray Boble. I'm probably nuttier, completely lost and nuttier. Yes, okay, Split Rock is Thomas. Okay, yeah, Anfield is. Well, I gotta seriously make a list. I gotta go back through here sometime and when I get a free minute and go through and just write down channel names and the real names. So I mean, Golfa is easy. His Golfa's Golfa, and human some people call human or Heath human, and some just call him Heath. John number 2 is Schoolkill. John number 1 is JD, which is Grandpa Rails. Dwight Hurley, welcome. Dave BNSF, N-Scale, welcome. You got 14 of you. Ooh, 14 of you. And there's Lee. I gotta get sort of used to these names. Lee, Thomas. Okay, guys. Well, we got it's switched to 15 now. So we are going to switch cameras so you can see this sort of ugly riverbed I've started with paint. And there is our cousin Vinny checking in to the chat, being SF6951, and you can catch him tomorrow night on his Hanging Out with the Cuz live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern. Right after Fallen Flags Friday, which I did mention in my reminder video could slowly disappear over time because now it's racing season. I want to keep my main live stream, which is this one, because this was always my spot. I just took the Friday for the backup night, but it seems to have rolled into live streams. So with racing season and being nicer, getting nicer and everything out, it's going to be kind of hard for me to keep up with 2 live streams over the spring and into the spring and the summer. So I don't know how that's actually going to work. So but the racing thing is going to be more of the main subject. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for. But you'll probably see a lot of hopefully racing videos, and plus train stuff that when I get rainy days I'll still be able to come out here and do some stuff and do videos and stuff like that. That part ain't going to probably stop. It might slow down. Ken Jr., welcome. Ken Amos Jr. B&O 51. I don't think I missed anybody else. But anyway, that's just part of what I do. It's going into racing season, and that's going to be the sort of top priority versus the train thing, even though if we get rainy days or whatever, I can still come out here, versus if I don't have a lot to do in a race car or something that week. If it rains a lot, then I won't be able to do nothing anyway. So anyway, we are going to go down here and change cameras. And you'll probably see paint bottles, which I will attempt to get out of the view. Here is what I got so far, guys. You're probably not going to see it very good. That is green. And this is like a bunch of colors, but it's turned sort of a greenish, yellowish, brownish, all kinds of colors in there. And of course, this I painted the bridge abutments on both sides like payment and gray, and I'm probably not going to think of what gray I actually used now. Dark gray, I believe, or it might have been the dark granite. That right there, if it'll focus. Hello, where is the focus? Well, anyway, dark granite is what I used on top of the payment. The payment was sort of too asphalty looking, so I just went ahead and just painted the gray granite over top of it to give it more of a color. Like I said, this is probably going to get boring, watching me paint. But that is what we got planned tonight. So I'm just going to mix a bunch of colors together, guys, and see what I come up with. If for some reason I don't like it, well, I'll stop and let it dry or whatever, and go at it another time. Because I'm not real good at doing these river beds or anything. Oh, good night, Lee. You leaving already? Must have to go. That's fine. Good stream. Get late here. Night all. Okay. Yeah, he's over. But anyway, here I know you ain't going to be able to see the lines, but I had put my track down right here earlier, and took a pencil and drew up against the rails for a line. I'm probably going to make it a little wider than the track, but I'm going to paint that like black or gray or something that will give me, the idea of where my ballast or sand or whatever I use on this diorama will go. But this will get painted, and it'll, like I said, it'll probably go out wider than the actual track. That way, when I do the ballast or whatever I cover the track with, it'll you know it'll sweep out to over that painted area. It'll tell me where the edges and stuff, that kind of stuff needs to be. Now over here, way over here on this very, very edge, and I don't know if you can see my finger right there, but it's right near the edge. So is back at this corner. So I won't be able to make it too wide there. I'll just, I'll just probably paint this area where the track goes, and then I'll, just edge it a little wider on both sides. Probably what I'll end up having to do. But anyway, we got our wide brush, so this goes just a hair faster. And let me see if I can get a little better angle so I don't have to try to keep moving this too much. Let me see if I can get my name out of this picture, guys. Hold on a minute. Whoop. See if I can get my name out of there. Maybe I won't be able to. See if this makes it better. That might make it a little better. Or I could do this. Let me do this. This will make it even better. Totally better. Everybody knows who I am, so. Or maybe it won't let me. Nope, it ain't gonna let me get rid of it. Okay. So anyway, Nora, welcome. Question: have you decided what you will use for a water effect? What product? On this, I'm probably going to have a lot of leaks if I use a water product. So I'm thinking that I might just seal it, make it look like the river is going down. Like they haven't had, much rain for months or something like that on here. But I'll probably just seal it with this stuff. Now, if I do use any water product, I will probably use a little bit of my magic water. Because I'm going to have a ton of that. Mainly because on this layout there was supposed to be a big river, and I don't know if that's ever going to possibly happen now. So I got a big jug of magic water that I might not even be able to use, but the shelf life is, fine on it. So, but I may mix up some of it and just, pour it in there after I seal it with that bullseye water sealer stuff. That way it has some kind of seal on it. So when I do pour some kind of water, it's not going to be totally running out. I'm sure I'll still have leaks, but that's actually what I used on my what's supposed to be a river um, up on one of the other levels that you all have never probably seen. I might have showed it in past, real past videos, but not nothing recently. Go under brand and scroll to the bottom. There is checkbox to remove the names. Oh, okay. I know what he's talking about. Ah, there we go. Thanks, Heath. I didn't think about that. Now let me get back out of here. Jerry, welcome. Jerry's got his regular name back. He's not Jerry Satz anymore. Lackawanna Rail fan, welcome. Tower. Hey, I remembered that one. Tower. Okay, well, anyway, guys, we're going to see what we can destroy and if any river has anything, it's moss. So we're going to start out with some moss green. Want to use the white for if we put rock or anything in here, just for the what you call them ripples and stuff like that. This ain't really a flowing river per se because this is a diorama or a module, as Vinny calls. So it's just a display piece. So you gotta use your imagination. If you want it to be a flowing river, then you're gonna have to put the ripples in the stone and the rock, or in my case, driveway stone will get glued in here, which will be the size of rock, more or less. So, and I'm just gonna do this, guys. If, like I said, if I don't like it, I will, change it off camera and try to find some colors that look a little better. But I'm just I'm just more or less making an ugly looking river. Um, there's no river that's perfect. So you're going to have moss and mud, which is another color I will be putting in here. Some kind of brownish or mud. And I don't know if that's going to be burnt sienna or what it might be. Let me see how dark this is. This is probably going to be too dark for the mud, but this is going to be more like a off rust color, probably. Um, Maybe. We're going to probably have mud under our bridge uh, where the train goes across. I'm not sure if there's going to be mud anywhere else, but I'll just kind of brush it in here and then I'll cover it up with the green or the white or whatever when it gets to that point. Right now, like I said, it's just going to be an ugly looking riverbed at this point. It's not going to be nothing, to show off at a show. And what I'll have to do is look at some videos of other cars that other model railroaders have used. I know they say you should go your local river or your local wherever you might have water, like a creek or creek or some kind of riverbed or pond or something, and get some ideas. of evening and morning and all that. But if it don't stay the same, well, you know, you're going to have to decide on what time of day you want your water. So right now it's just going to be basically an ugly looking paint job because it's going to have some brown, murky, muddy, mossy looking um, places in it. And I don't know if you can tell, but if you can, there's some lines in here. I actually took my X-Acto knife blade and trying to drop it in the paint, but I actually took my X-Acto knife blade and just skimmed it across um, here and made some just light lines in the foam, just to, you know, just to have some kind of markings in there to make it look like it's, you know, starting to rut in places where the water might wash it out and rut it out. Um, there is places like that underwater, believe it or not. But like I said before, this is just going to be sort of a fun, boring type video, and I'm just going to use up this little bit of brown that I actually put in here. For the end, I will get a little more green paint on my throwaway palette. As you can see, it's been pretty well used. It's getting weak. It's going to be time to throw this one away. And the nice thing about the brown, you can just, keep swiping it out and thinning it and bring it into your green also if you like that kind of look. I mean, you can also have yellowish water, like, where you're what am I thinking of? Joe Raider, welcome. Nancy, welcome. Um, but you have like the yellow I can't even think of what they call it, but you see it a lot when you go out on a boat and go fishing, or along the dock or along the riverbank and so forth. It just looks like a bunch of stuff floated in, kind of kind of like seaweed type stuff, I guess. And I don't know why this is a piece of foam in here. So anyway, try not to bore you the whole time with this, but oh, if John, if you're John number 2, if you're still in here, and welcome Steve. Miscellaneous garbage, twigs, leaves, grass. Yes, yes. Plus some railroad ties or towers or anything like that. If the railroad's going to cross it, you're going to have something always laying somewhere near the track that might eventually get pushed by some kids or something like that trying to. I'm not too sure if I'd really want to swim in this because this is ugly, guys. This is ugly. I don't even know. Oh man, this has got to be the ugliest riverbed I've ever seen right now. But that's okay. Um, like I said, I'm not experienced with the riverbed stuff, and I do not know what this is crawling across the. It's one of them little bugs, and he's flying. So anyway, we'll get a little more moss green on our palette and get rid of some of this burnt sienna look. It's definitely muddy and mossy, and well, it's just ugly, you might say, to make the lack of better terms. Like I said, there will be, a couple driveway stone in here for rock, which would be basically probably almost somewhat in HO scale, but a lot of them probably won't be, but it'll be good enough to make actual rock for something like this. Um, like I said, this is ugly, but I'm kind of liking it. I mean, because water is not blue; it's supposed to be clear. But when you go to the ocean or the river or a pond or a creek or a creek, um, you know, you look down in there and it's either a cloudy spot or it's got moss growing in it. And most of your mossy spots you'll see as you're out on a in a fishing boat or something like that, or unless you go to a high snake area, which is mostly where the snakes will hang out in the mossy area because they like all that, to hide to get the fish um and whatever else they might be after. So but they like to live in them kind of areas. Alligators or crocodiles also like those areas also. If you watch reptile or animal videos and stuff like I do, if they're wild, they in the river and places like that, they will live in those places. Now I attempted to, and here's what's weird. Now it could be a different foam um, material or something, but these are what they consider project boards. Well, over here is basically the same company, and I'm gonna get the camera guys and shake you around here a little bit. But there is my big mountain that I've been working on outside because it's like, well, it's like 5 foot or something like that long. So I actually no, I'm wrong on that. It is almost 8 foot. Yeah. I lied on that. So it is like maybe 7 foot something, but it's going up in that area right down below those ceiling tiles, right where the brown board is, if you can see that. And I'm sorry about the mess, but right below those, right below the boards is where it'll be going. And I've painted this with rattle cans. And when I tried it on this riverbed, it actually started eating the foam a little bit. But it has not did anything to the big mountain. And it's the same foam company, as far as I know. Um, but these is what they call project boards, which is 2 foot by 2 foot and an inch thick. Um, in this case, mine is two different boards because I cut out the riverbed to make it easier, you might say. So anyway, Container Man 68, welcome. I said hi to Nancy. Glad you all can make it in. It's called Great Stuff. I love how nice of mountains it makes. Yes, I've used that before, Nancy. It's easy. It's actually easy to carve, but I will let you on a little secret. Make sure that it is cured. You gotta let that stuff cure and expand enough and dry before you go carving it, because you'll get all these air holes where it expanded out and left big holes. I discovered that when I went to carve mine up in here in the first Prestonburg that I did. So I will let you in on that little problem tip sort of thing. So yeah, okay, you learned that already. Well, I just thought I'd spit it out in case. I learned that a long time ago, trust me. It leaves a lot of holes, and then you're filling the holes, trying to figure out how to fill the holes back in, and then the stuff just wants to foam up, and it looks like these big blobs of foam that you now got to figure out what to do with. So spraying it down in those little holes just doesn't really help much, because you get that big blob to figure something out with. So, but yeah, the great stuff is great. If you um if you have a place to use it for mountains and all that. The nice thing about it, if you can, while it's wet, try to smooth it down, that before it expands, and then try to help it a little bit, I guess is what I want to say. If you can try to smooth it down a little bit, it might. I mean, it's still going to expand no matter what. But if you try to smooth it down and help it a little bit, it might not expand as much, but it's still going to, have your expansion to it. There's no stopping that because of it drying and getting air and everything. So All right, guys. Well, this is this has gotten a little better. Um, I'm never going to be ever totally happy with projects I do because I learn from my mistakes to try something different. Um, the next time to see if it works, and that's the whole idea about this whole hobby. You can mess something up and you can redo it until you get something that you're more satisfied with. Just like on camera, this actually looks blue on my screen right here, and some of this is blue, but really this is actually gray, and this is actually green and brown, and this is actually green right here, which is, I believe, what color green did I use on that? Holly branch, I believe, is what I used to make it look like just grassy patches along the bank. Now, I will fill that in with ground cover and different stuff. Yes, Ray, I am too. You're not the only one, buddy. I've been I've been learning for since I was a kid, learning new stuff. I mean, I learn new stuff every day, believe it or not. And then we do like the side of our river banks. Um, for this, you can make it mossy, muddy, depending on how deep your river is going to be. Um, you can have grass growing down over the side in places if it's shallow. In different places, you can have trees growing up out of the bank. Um, you can make it look like somebody spilt, mulch or something, and have it coming over the bank, or where they sawed a tree and have sawdust or something in there. There's all kinds of ideas. You just gotta use your wild imagination. And now listen to me ramble on, because my imagination's way out. I mean, you wouldn't believe some of the ideas I've come up with over the years. Some of them I remember, some of them I don't. But when you're a kid, you just, I was one of them that had all kinds of wild ideas. I mean, so he does a show on 187. I'm pretty sure I said hi to you, Steve. Yeah, I believe I did, because up here is one of your older. Okay. But this is, somewhat what this ugly riverbed's going to be. I might still add maybe a little yellow here and there, just to give it look like, something went into the water and turned it. Um, I may just go ahead, and after this is all dry, I may tomorrow or whenever I get time, um, go ahead and seal all this off and see if I can mix a small batch of magic water up and see if I can do my first pour. But I will have to get like my rocks and logs and stuff in there, because they say you can put that in and the magic water will cure it just like glue, and you don't have to use additional glue. So that'll actually be good on my part. Same way, basically what it is, it's a epoxy. If a lot of you haven't heard about Magic Water, it's one of the best products out there, which is the reason I'm going to use it. I'm not saying nothing against, you know, any other product, and I'm not on here getting paid or anything to mention Magic Water. So it's just, what my preference is. Um, and I had bought it, a year or two ago, and the life, the shelf life on it is unlimited. So, um, it shouldn't go bad. It does have instructions if it would go cloudy. I think you put it. I forget what it says, but you do something to it to bring it back to its natural look. So, other than that, this is probably gonna have to sit here and dry. So let's see, and it's 7:52 anyway. But I'm thinking, like I said, I think I'm gonna paint this part black or gray or something to give me an idea where the track and stuff's going to be, so I can do the cheap ballast look, which is going to be a colored sand, probably like a grayish sand. It's not going to be actual ballast, because I'm not going to waste good stuff on something that's just going to, sit around and collect dust and stuff like that. So, but I'll finish the riverbanks and stuff at another time. And put my whoop, trying to lose a brush. And I'll go back to my other camera here real quick so we can chat a few minutes. So you can see my ugly mug and see what we got in here that we out. How goes the Walters build off molecule? Taco Bell. Yeah, I would imagine you don't, Nancy. All the rioting and stuff that's been going on in your area. It's sad. Very, very sad the way everything's become with the showstopper and other things. But we won't go into that. That's a whole different problem and subject. So let's see. Oh wow, we got 16 of you in here, according to my counter. I will be able to do more work after this weekend festivities. Big meetup. Yeah, I'm glad you're having something like that, Heath. I'm sorry I ain't going to be able to go, but that's going to be a little too much traveling from here. So you're renting a car or riding a bike there. You better get pedaling now, Heath, if you're that far from it. Unless you're talking about a motorcycle. That might get a little windy and buggy too. Wow, man. I'm trying to get rid of everything. Big little big of their own kind. Yeah, believe it or not, we've got. I know there's one of our original 7-Elevens still in business up here on the dual highway. I ain't too sure if there's any other ones around, but one of our a race car driver that actually lives up the road from me instead of down the road from my old house. Well, actually down the road from both of my old houses, because we only moved from one to the next one to this one, and they was maybe a mile or something, mile and a half from one another or something. I don't know. But anyway, I do know that one, or the person I'm talking about was a race car driver, and he owned all the 7-Elevens here in Hagerstown, Maryland, and some down in Frederick. There was only so many of them, but he owned them, and he actually had that on his race car 7-Eleven, and then that, which was his actual number, but it had the logo 7-Eleven with the green and the white and the red numbers, and he actually had it as 7-Eleven as the number for couple years. So, of course, he's been he was a school teacher here for one of the high schools or somewhere here in Hagerstown, or even it might have even been down Frederick where he might have taught. But I went to school with his daughter and his boy, who was couple years behind me, but I knew who they was. But he was a race car driver for years, so I grew up watching him. But he did own all the 7-Elevens. All right, guys. Well, guys and girls, I'm going to end this live stream. I hope I didn't bore you too much with painting. Like I said, it is looking ugly. That is one ugly riverbed that I'm doing, but it's going to work for this purpose. So everybody have a good evening, a good morning, wherever you may be at. And don't forget, tomorrow night, if I get to go on the air at 7 p.m., Fallen Flags Friday, maybe we'll work on this some more, or if I decide not to go on for some reason, I will do a video, but make sure you check out Hanging Out with the Cuz at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. So that's going to be it for Train Tunnel Thursday. So everybody have a good night, good morning, wherever you may be, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now, guys. Be safe out there.